Hello everybody and welcome to the Eurovision Song Contest in Israel. It's the third time that this big event takes place in Israel. And with me today is Alon Amir. Hi.
Hi.
You are a big expert in Eurovision, I've read on your Twitter account.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing this since before God. My first Eurovision was in '95 in Dublin when I was 17.
So what are the most important things you did officially at Eurovision?
Working with Israel, with Dana International when she won, and then when we hosted it. And I was head of press for Israel, head of press for Belarus and Slovakia. I'm advising the Norwegian delegation this year. Been part of the jury member in so many national finals all over Europe, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Estonia, Ireland, Malta, Bulgaria. I wrote a book based on my experience in the Eurovision. So yeah, I've been doing that for many years and I kind of like it.
Seems so. So what? Okay, we know that you are an expert. You've read the book. We're going to talk about this later. So personally, what is your really first memory of the Eurovision Song Contest?
That would be 1985, watching it with my family in the living room, waiting for Izar Cohen to perform, his second time, not the first one. So that's my first Eurovision memory.
Can you tell us Eurovision in Israel, how people see the Eurovision Song Contest?
It's always a big thing in Israel. We're a small country and it's a huge event and we're taking part, so it's very important. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Some years, it was huge. In recent years, not so much, but in the past 4 or 5 years, it gained momentum again thanks to Rising Stars, so it's huge again and everybody's talking about it.
Yeah. And you're living really close here to the arena. So in which state are you actually? Are you like, you can't wait that it kicks officially off?
Listen, this is my second Eurovision in Israel. I done that 20 years ago as executive producer of the Israeli delegation. I don't like doing Eurovision in my own country because you're not away from anything. So everybody's bothering you with things that are not related to Eurovision, and you have to work and you have to do this, and it's not really a break and you're not really in your bubble. There's a bubble in Eurovision. So I don't like doing Eurovision in Israel, but I don't mind doing that every 3-4 years. That's fine.
So it's, as a matter of fact, it's every 20 years. It was 1979, 1999, and now 2019. Israel has a certain pattern, no? Can you explain this? Is there a reason you see in this?
I can't explain it, but I just said, I don't mind doing that every 4 or 5 years, not 20 years. And I'm thinking Israel's next victory would be in 4 or 5 years. I have a guess.
What do you think 2019 will be remembered of? Do you think there's a special thing we're gonna think of it?
I think it's too soon to know. Depends on the winner. I think the political situation, obviously, what we've been through in the last week, with the missiles from Gaza. But let's say we still have a week to go. Anything can happen. For better or worse, let's see what's happening.
That's what Eurovision stands for. Everything can happen.
Anything can happen. Anything.
Yes. So there's one thing we are here because Netta won last year, that's for sure. And there's one thing I still have in my mind. When she won, the Austrian singer wanted to go and congratulate her. And then the the composer of the song, Doron, pushed him away 3 times. That for Swiss guy, this is like something really rude. Have you seen this? Can you comment on this?
I remember seeing that. I don't know if he was pushing him. I mean, I wasn't there. I really have no idea what happened there. If he was pushing him or saying thank you because maybe someone was telling them come to stage now and
everything has to go fast.
Yeah, when you win Eurovision, you don't know where you are, what's your name. what just happened, because even with Dana, we, we didn't think we would win. It wasn't only in the morning of the Eurovision, I remember we were talking at breakfast saying, we may have a chance of winning. But so is like 3-4 other countries. So that moment that you're there and everybody's jumping at you and you have the stage manager saying, come on now, and then I don't know what just happened. Maybe it was rude, maybe he wasn't pushing but saying thank you, but we need to go. I don't know, I wasn't there.
By the way, talking of Dana International, we heard the story that she lost her dress in a taxi cab when she went to the arena, and it was the Swiss-French commentator that brought back her dress. Is that story true?
That's the first time I'm hearing about it. Okay. Knowing Dana and her team, wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, so let's talk about your book. It's called 3 Minutes.
3 Minutes of Eternity.
Yes, can you explain this title?
Yeah, when I wrote it, it meant that, when you guys watch the Eurovision, you see 3 minutes, that's the song. For us, working on those 3 minutes feels like eternity, and it takes 3 years from our lives because it's so hectic and stressful. However, Anne-Marie David, Eurovision winner, gave another interpretation to this, to the name of the book. She told me those 3 minutes gave me lifetime of eternity. Everybody remember me 46 years after winning. So those 3 minutes, they gave me a lifetime of eternity, which I was not thinking of that interpretation, but I love that.
Speaking of this, when I analyze those who won the Eurovision Song Contest, let's take Loreen. She is really known. She made I guess it's the best song ever that was written in Eurovision or performed. You can agree or not, but it is always the song people are talking about. But Loreen, her career, it didn't kick off with Eurovision. Why? Only ABBA and Celine Dion are remembered outside the Eurovision bubble. Can you imagine? Explain why?
Yeah. First of all, I wouldn't credit the Eurovision for Celine Dion's career. She did not succeed because of Eurovision. It took her several years after winning Eurovision. The Eurovision is a platform. It doesn't guarantee anything. Winning the Eurovision is fantastic. Doesn't mean anything. You have to prove a lot after Eurovision. So you need to have good songs, good manager. You have to need a certain personality as a singer in order to succeed and in order to use this platform for an international career. Listen, I don't know what happened exactly with Lorraine or any other Eurovision winner after Eurovision, but you need to have a certain personality and good label, good manager, and a special personality.
So going back to your book, why should we read it?
First of all, it's the first book ever that has the Eurovision in it. It's not a facts. It's not. It's a novel based on my experience in the Eurovision Song Contest, and everything here is based on real events. So reading it, you'll have better understanding of what's going on behind the scenes, all the shenanigans, the romances, politics. Inside politics, within the delegations and outside. And I had to write this book after what we've been through in Baku, in Azerbaijan, being representing the Israeli delegation in a Muslim country in an open border to Iran, going there with 15 special agents protecting us, which they caught 40 terrorists from Iran who came to kidnap us and to kill us. So we almost lost our lives because of Eurovision. Okay. So, but it's a very, really, 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 really funny book. You'll laugh your ass off. If you're going on holiday, that's the book to take for an airplane or sitting in the pool with drinks in your head, because it's very funny. And I've started writing the second one, the sequel.
Oh, so let's buy it. It's available,
on Amazon. It's in English. And even if you don't speak English as your mother tongue, you would still understand everything.
Okay.
I made sure of that.
Perfect. So I'm gonna buy one. Eurovision is also about gay people. That's for sure. So, have you an explanation why it attracts gay people?
Yes. First of all, it's not just for gay people. We have 200 million viewers for the Eurovision. There aren't 200 million gays in Europe. I wish there were. It would have been easier for me to find my next husband. Eurovision is bigger than life. It's incredible. It's drama, has a lot of divas, sequences, glitter. And, you know, the gay community, they loved that before Eurovision. You know, it was in the movies and theater. And ever since Eurovision became what it is today, this huge monster, it attracts the gay people. And, you know, trashy songs, pop songs, we love that. So, and we love also the bad songs. One of the reasons that I love watching the Eurovision is the shitty, horrible songs. We were like, what's happening over there? Why is it? You know, that's one of the fun things. So yeah, you know, it's fun.
Fun and glamour, that's for sure.
Yes, of course. And you know, and I'm always watching it when I'm not working. Let's be honest, even when I am working with my artists in the back room, we're pissed, we're drunk, we're drinking all the time because, you know, it's boring in the green room and you've got nothing else to do beside drinking. So, you know, we're like having fun.
What about the Swiss entry of this year of Luca Hani and She Got Me? Do you know the song and do you like it?
I've heard the song, really nice pop song. I think it will appeal mainly for the gay community and young girls at the age of 12. He's good looking, so that's always a bonus. I think you have a chance of being in the top 10, maybe even in the top 5 with a good performance.
Let's cross fingers.
Yeah, you know, Switzerland hasn't won in years. Well, mainly because you were sending really horrible songs over the years. Like, you're like the what the fuck country. That what were they thinking? That's not what. So finally, you've got a good chance of doing well, and it looks like you're taking yourself seriously, which is lovely. Well, if you think Tel Aviv is expensive, I think Geneva or Zurich would be, oh my God, but would be fun to go there. And yeah, maybe. Yeah. Why not?
I think we can see the change, and this is a congratulations to our head of delegation, Reto Peretz. So now, if you would be the next Jan Olasand, so responsible for the future of the Eurovision Song Contest, in which direction would you like to develop it?
The Eurovision is a living organism. You never know what will happen next. I don't know exactly what. There are several things I would do. I don't think it's wise to talk about it, but let's say that there are some things I would maybe slightly change, because the Eurovision is doing quite okay. You know, they're doing a good. Debut is doing a really good job. I really applaud them and admire their work.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you said you're an Eurovision expert. Last question: who is gonna win this year?
The $1 million question. At this point of the rehearsals, when there's no front leader, I think I would put my money on 2 countries: Russia and Iceland.
Oh,
Yeah,
surprisingly.
yeah. That's my gut feeling, but I haven't seen all the rehearsals. Netherlands can do well, of course. Italy, amazing song, but their staging is always, they're not good enough. They don't know. They don't know how to work with cameras. It's almost every year that the Italians, they don't know how to. They need a good stage director. But yeah, I would say at this moment, Russia, Iceland, Netherlands is not far behind. Italy is not far behind. Switzerland is there. Sweden is there. I would have loved to say Norway, but I don't think so. And I'm working with Norway this year.
What a great song.
Fantastic song.
It's fantastic.
And amazing band. But listen, it's not about winning. It's about doing well. I prefer coming last in the Eurovision and have a huge hit all over Europe with that song than winning and disappearing. You know, last year, Eleni Ferreira. I think she's the real winner of the Eurovision of last year. Her song did fantastically well. She's performing all over the world. I wouldn't mind that. You know, not winning but having a hit. That's more important for me.
So this is a good last word. So this time we're gonna have is hot as fuego. We will say like this. Thank you very much, Toda Rabba.
You're welcome, bevakasha.
Have a nice time.
You too.